Karen McArthur is a criminal defense lawyer, and she joins us now from Toronto. Karen, always good to get your thoughts on cases like this. We're waiting for the judge to read through her verdict and to deliver the final verdict. What are you going to be watching for today?
I'm going to be watching for Judge Molloy drawing upon her background. She was, prior to being appointed to the bench, she worked for ARCH, which is a support group for people with disabilities, and so she was an advocate there. So it will be interesting to see how she toes the line and considers the legal and factual implications of autism in the context of a not criminally responsible case. So she brings some personal background to bear.
But of course, I'm sorry, go ahead, Karen.
She's a very fine judge. But when I was on air with you in the fall, I suggested that Boris Batinsky, Mr. Manassian's counsel, had a very difficult case to make. So we'll see whether or not he made it, because Mr. Batinsky is also a very fine counsel.
A judge, of course, though, has to make a decision based on the law, and a decision that has to stand up through a process of appeals as well. So let's look at this in terms of what the law says that could be applied in a verdict such as this.
Well, so the judge is going to have to look at both the facts and the law. That's the job of the judge. And she will have to consider all the facts, the statements that Mr. Manassian gave, his actions, and also the expert evidence that was called by the Crown and the defense, to see if within the legal rubric, Mr. Manassian did or did not have moral and legal knowledge that what he was doing was wrong when he jumped the sidewalk with the van. That's the test. That's what she has to look at.
The facts not in question. He has admitted to what was the deaths of 10 people, intended to, planned to, and the attempted murder of 16 others. So let's talk about NCR, not criminally responsible. What goes into determining that?
So the judge will look at his state of mind at the time of the act and can infuse her understanding of his state of mind with his past. But really what's specific to the judgment today is what was Mr. Manassian thinking or not thinking at the moment he made the decision to, plow the van forward. Did he have a moral understanding and appreciation that what he was doing was not correct? Did he have a legal understanding that what he was doing was not correct? Or was his operating mind clouded by his autism spectrum disorder? Dr. Bradford, who was called by the defense, said there's a hypothetical pathway to get you to the NCR, or the not criminally responsible, but he thought it was involved too much hypothetical, too much conjecture. It's a difficult path to get to, or a difficult point to get to find that he was lacking in the moral and legal understanding of his actions. But perhaps the defense has made it out. We're all going to be waiting with bated breath. I think it is very important that Justice Molloy said, look, this is not autism on trial. This is specific to Mr. Manassian's particular situation.
The idea of being found not criminally responsible, of course, has evolved over the years to the point where there was a time when individuals who truly were mentally ill would be locked away for the rest of their lives in a prison with no chance of treatment. So the not criminally responsible has seen people go away for less than potentially a lifetime in prison and to seek treatment, and in some cases be returned back into society. Can we talk about the aspect of this in terms of the public's need to see some sort of punishment meted out, and the idea around not being criminally responsible, and to try to help people understand the intent of an NCR decision?
So our legal system is based upon we incarcerate or we punish those who are morally blameworthy. If, on the other hand, because of mental illness or unwellness, one is found not morally blameworthy, then we don't want to punish. We want to treat. But society is protected with the NCR pronouncement in the sense that the offender, who was found not morally blameworthy but still did the acts, is separated from society. So society is protected from a repetition of their events while they are being treated. And there are many checks and balances built into the therapy or the treatment or the staying in a mental hospital that follow for persons that are found to be not criminally responsible. Society is still protected, but we don't notionally consider it punishment. It's more along the therapeutic and treatment realm.
As you've said, an NCR defense in this case is a challenging one to prove. But if the judge does find that Alec Minassian was not criminally responsible for his actions, what then happens to him?
And then he will be turned over to a treatment facility, and he will go through the system of the checks and balances that are built into place, including opportunities to address the board and advise that he is now successfully being treated and is safe to be released into society.
Karen, I want to thank you for your time and your expertise on this. We'll be checking back with you later as this verdict becomes apparent to all of us. Appreciate your time once again.
As we all listen in on YouTube. Thanks, John.
Okay. Karen McArthur is a criminal defense lawyer, and we reached her in Toronto.